What's up, Raptors fans? Welcome to the Warriors Report with the first preseason game of the Raptors. There's also another team we needed to keep an eye on, and that was the Orlando Magic, because we know Jalen Suggs, Scottie Barnes are going to be compared all season long. So before we talk about both of their respective games, the games they had today against Philadelphia, and Orlando was playing the Boston Celtics. If you do want to give this video a thumbs up, it does help reach more basketball fans like yourself. And if you want to hit the subscribe button as well, that'd be absolutely amazing. With that being said, guys, let's get into today's video. So Scottie Barnes had himself a really impressive first preseason game against the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, obviously, the Philadelphia 76ers were missing a lot of guys like Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris. They were missing, obviously, Ben Simmons as well. But the Raptors were also missing some key players in Gary Trent Jr., Kem Birch, Chris Boucher is also out with injury, unfortunately. And we obviously had Pascal Siakam out as well. So the Raptors did have a fair share of their guys out as well. But still a very impressive game for Scottie Barnes' first preseason game. And this is not what I expected at all. I'm not going to lie. I was high on Scottie Barnes. But statistically, this was not what I expected from Scottie Barnes, because he's talked about this himself and how fast-paced the Summer League was. He said the NBA is going to be very fast-paced and he's going to have to adjust his game. But he looked perfectly fine out there with the starters, with the young guys, with the bench. He looked perfect with every player he played with. He was playing out there with a lot of hustle. He was passing the ball really well, and I'm not going to lie, I was really impressed with his passing abilities. He found Precious Achiuwa on one play where Precious Achiuwa was cutting to the basket. Scottie Barnes is posting up, and he finds Precious Achiuwa for that massive dunk. So he was able to find guys you normally wouldn't expect rookies to, make those passes. So he really impressed me in terms of what he was able to do. His defense was impressive. He stripped Andre Drummond in the first quarter, got a steal. It led to a lot of fast break points for the Raptors. I like his speed. I like the length he's brought to the Raptors, and I loved his first game with the Raptors. Now, let's talk about the other player, that is Jalen Suggs, who, you know the deal, guys. We were supposed to draft Jalen Suggs, but we didn't. We surprised the NBA by drafting Scottie Barnes, and this was Jalen Suggs' first game with the Orlando Magic, his first preseason game against the Celtics. And I think it's safe to say, let's go back on the previous screen, safe to say that Scottie Barnes had himself a much better game than Jalen Suggs, who looked terrible out there. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 steals, 2 blocks. He has 3 of 11 from the field. And not to mention, his team lost to the Boston Celtics by 1 point, whereas the Raptors won by 20-plus points against the 76ers. Jalen Suggs just looked downright horrible. Now, obviously, there were some rumors about Jalen Suggs tanking his workout with the Raptors during the offseason, because they said he was struggling so much with his shooting that the Raptors themselves said that he has to come back. He can come back the next year, and then he struggled again. And look, I'm not saying those are true, but it doesn't seem that far stretched now, seeing how much he struggled to shoot. And yes, it is one preseason game. I'm not gonna hype it up and say Scottie Barnes is a better player already, because look, it's a long season. Players have good and bad games, right? But this is the first impact we see of these guys against NBA proven talent. Obviously, there's some other, G League players in there as well, fighting for roster spots. For the most part, though, it was NBA proven talent these guys were playing against. Scottie Barnes looked like a pro out there. He did not look like a rookie. He had himself a really nice game. Jalen Suggs, on the other hand, he looked downright awful. He was struggling with his shooting. He's known for his passing ability. He's known for a lot of things that Scottie Barnes did. When you take a look at the statistics, I want to keep going back on this screen, because these are normally statistics you would think, maybe if we had removed these pictures and showed you the statistics, you would think that Jalen Suggs had posted these stats and not Scottie Barnes. And maybe this is what you would normally expect from Scottie Barnes, because his shooting was a big question mark coming into the NBA. And a lot of people said his shooting was the big issue he needs to work on. But you wouldn't know it by these statistics. So Jalen Suggs obviously struggled. I think the first battle, if you want to call it that, although they did not face off against each other, the first battle of seeing Scottie Barnes in preseason action and seeing Jalen Suggs, I think the clear winner is Scottie Barnes in terms of what he was able to do with the Raptors. He seemed very comfortable out there. He seemed like a very nice player. He was with the team. He's cheering the guys on the bench, even when he wasn't in the game. So it's things like this that really impress you about Scottie Barnes' his leadership. He's smiling out there. He's having fun, but he's also a very serious player when it comes to game time. He was defending well. He was doing a lot of little things, so he looked good out there. I was really impressed by Scottie Barnes, so it's fair to say that Scottie Barnes gets a big W. in his first preseason game, obviously against the 76ers, but also a big W against Jalen Suggs when you compare these two players. So it's going to be a really fun and long season, and going back and forth and comparing these two players throughout the season. But I do want to hear your guys' thoughts. So what was your reaction of Scottie Barnes, seeing him soaring for those massive dunks, see him passing to Precious Achiuwa, making some really nice passes overall? And what was your first impression of Scottie Barnes? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you guys are still watching this video, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.